A very pleasant good evening, everyone, and we welcome you to the campus of Glen Allen High School as softball week continues. Game 2 of 3 this week live on the RVA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage of another top 10 battle with a team we just saw almost knock off number 2 Atlee on Monday night on our last broadcast, getting set to host the number 5 team in our RVA Sports Network top 10 high school softball poll. It is the number 6 ranked 4-2 Glen Allen Jaguars hosting the 5th ranked Cavaliers of Clover Hill, coming in with a record of 6-1. Starting lineups being announced right now. We'll have our national anthem in a moment, and then we will be set to play ball just a little before 6 o'clock, which is why we hit the air just a tad early. Rob with them along with you. It is a gorgeous night for softball. Temperatures low 60s and not a cloud in the sky, as it will be Julia Fritz in the circle for Glen Allen, who put on a fantastic performance in that 9-inning 2-1 defeat at number 2 Atlee back on Monday night against Hannah Hall. The ace for the 5th-ranked Clover Hill Cavaliers, as we mentioned, coming in at 6-1. Their lone loss, a 2-0 defeat to the hands of private school St. Margaret's last Friday night, while we were over at the Atlee Lee Davis showdown. We get set for our national anthem, and first pitch is just a moment away.
There's a problem with the national anthem. Let's just play ball.
Oh, well, I'm afraid there will not be a Star-Spangled Banner this evening, so we can turn our mic back down, and we are going to get started. Here live on the RVA Sports Network. It's game 2 of 3 this week here on the network, softball week. Originally, our schedule was Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. Our Tuesday night game was rained out, made up last night, and boy, what a game that was. If you were following us live on Twitter, both on Hanover Sports and Henrico Sports, as number 8, Mills Godwin gave the number 1 ranked team in our poll, Lee Davis, everything they could handle and more. They had the tying run on second in the 7th, and Lee Davis escaped at home with a 3-2 victory last night to stay undefeated. And Mills Godwin maybe 3-4 on the season, but they are a highly competitive team, and they will be spoken of before this season is done. And they now have the confidence of knowing if they end up playing Lee Davis again in the Conference 11 tournament in about a month or so, that they can hang with the Confederates. We talked about on Monday night, we had the Glen Allen Atlee game, and a great game that was, with Atlee scoring 1 in the bottom of the 9th to win 2-1. And now we have the Jaguars on their home field, welcoming in from Chesterfield, and our first opportunity to broadcast them live. And we're really excited about having Clover Hill here live on the network this evening. We are set and ready to go. And leading off for Clover Hill, shortstop Sam Cypress steps into the batter's box. The lefty Julia Fritz is towing the rubber, and we're just waiting for the home plate umpire to say, let's play ball. His hand says yes, and off we go. Fritz is ready, and we're underway. First pitch is high for ball 1. Fritz is a 3-year varsity starter for these Glen Allen Jaguars, who last year made it into the what used to be called 4A South Region Tournament for the first time. 1-0 pitch, ground ball towards second. Steinruck on 2 hops, throws to first, and Cypress is retired for out number 1. One away here, top of the first, and that'll bring up the catcher, Coral Kreitzer. Her battery mate, Hannah Hall, is on deck. 1 out. Top of the order, just underway here at Glen Allen High School. Fritz's first delivery is high for ball 1. Camby Brummett, the catcher, has to stand up to grab that one. The count once again, 1-0 on the catcher for Clover Hill. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It too is high. Kreitzer's ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Fritz gets the sign, checks the wristband, which is really up in her lower upper arm. Next pitch, another grounder towards second. Steinruck on 3 hops this time, and the quick throw retires Coral for the second out of inning number 1. And that'll bring up your starting pitcher for Clover Hill, and that is Hannah Hull, hitting in the number 3 spot. We'll check the entire lineups for both teams at our first half inning break. Hall would like that to be later rather than sooner. Snowtons is on deck. First pitch, check swing, ball 1 outside. They asked the first base umpire if she went. He says no, and it's 1-0. Fritz behind to the count 1-0 for the 3rd consecutive batter, but so far 2 for 2, 2 groundouts to Steinruck over at second. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It'll miss outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Cavaliers at 6-1 on the season. And for Virginia High School League purposes, 6-0. We'll explain why in a moment. 2-0. Shot right back to behind Fritz. Goes past the second baseman Steinruck into center. And a 2-out base hit for Hannah Hull to extend the inning. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter, Hannah Snowtons.
Clover Hill, number 10, Hannah Snowtons.
Hannah's the second baseman and has a runner on at first base. There'll be no courtesy runner for the pitcher. Hull will run for herself. Fritz is ready. First pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Stone can't quite get to it, and everybody is safe. She got the top of the glove on it, flying toward the bag at second, but could not grab it. And I don't know if she'd have had time to pitch it over to Steinruck to get the force at second anyway, as Hull was flying down the base paths towards second. So first and second, 2 out here top of the first, and a little 2-out rally developing now. And here's Taylor Davis. First pitch, ground ball towards first, gets by the first baseman, base hit. Runner coming in to score, safe at third, and moving up to second is Davis. Taylor Davis with the RBI single to score Hull, and it is Clover Hill with a 2-out rally and a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring up Holly Wanless. First pitch is a strike, and for the first time tonight, 6th hitter in the lineup in this first inning, Fritz gets ahead of the count 0-1. 0-1 pitch. High, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. One 0 Clover Hill. All the action with 2 out here in the top of inning number 1. 1-1 delivery. Misses low. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to Holly Wanless. Next pitch, tap toward first. Goldman is there. She'll step on the bag, and that will retire the side, but not before. Couple of hits and 1 run in for Clover Hill. And in the middle of the first inning, it is 1-0 Cavaliers. As we get a very quick update on Twitter to our fans following us there, both on Chesterfield Sports and on Henrico Sports, all part of the RVA Sports Network. To complete the lineup for Clover Hill, Haley Gibson will be the designated player, bat 7th and lead off the second inning for them. The right fielder tonight, Hannah Duncan, is 8th, and Ty Selby is your left fielder, and she will bat 9th. Flex player tonight over at first is Jessica Cornwith. Here's the starting lineup now for the homestanding Jaguars. Maddie Stone will bat first. She's at short. Cameron Steinruck bats second at second base. Cammie Brummett, the catcher, is third. Cleanup hitter, the starting pitcher, Julia Fritz. Lauren Goldman, the first baseman, bats 5th. Ashley Wilson in right field bats 6th. Katie Hedrick, the left fielder, batting 7th. Third baseman Brittany Street in the 8th spot in the lineup tonight. A bit of a change for head coach Laney Knuckles, and it'll be Ashley Haley, the center fielder, batting in the 9 spot. Jags with a very difficult early non-district schedule. At 4-2, their 2 losses coming to number 1 Lee Davis, and in 9 innings Monday night on the road, number 2 Atlee. So it'll be the shortstop Stone, who couldn't quite get to that sharp grounder just behind second. And again, I'll be honest with you, not sure if she would have retired the lead runner, Hall. She would have had to have got the ball and somehow flipped it, probably right out of her glove, to Steinruck heading over to second, and Hall may have beaten that throw. 1-0 Cavaliers as we start the bottom of the first inning, and Hannah Hall gets set to start things off in the circle. First pitch, outside corner for strike 1. Stone, Steinruck, Brummett. Upcoming here in the bottom of the first. Steinruck with a couple of hits against Atlee on Monday night. Goldman with that big double into the gap early on. Next pitch is high and away. Make that 1-1 strike. Lefty versus lefty tonight. The lefty Fritz for Glen Allen. The lefty Hannah Hall. One of 4-5 seniors on this Clover Hill squad. Next pitch fouled down the first base line and well out of play behind the second fence here at Glen Allen High School. And the count on Stone now at 1-2. Glen Allen's got another top 10 battle on the horizon. They go to number 7 Patrick Henry on Wednesday night next week. Next pitch fouled back behind us, sent out of play, and Stone stays alive at 1-2. And a little more shaking up in our top 10 as last night Thomas Dale handed number 3 Prince George their first loss of the year, 1-0. Next pitch just slipped out of Hall's hands and rolls to the plate, and that'll even the count at 2-2. Coral Kreitzer behind the plate has a word with the umpire, laughs, turns around, and we're set. Hall getting a grip, 2-2 pitch. Foul back again down the first base line, and plenty of softballs to chase early to our right. And it stays at 2-2 on the leadoff hitter Stone, who, if I recall correctly, battled a couple of times against both Moss and St. George Monday night. Next pitch, grounder towards short. Picked it up. Throw to first is just off the glove of Cornwith. And Stone's going to roll to second. On the throw, just wide of first. And, man, had it been caught, it would have been a bang, bang play. So the leadoff hitter gets to second. Stone moves to second. Steinbreck, first pitch, down the third base line to the fence and foul. Counts 0-1. There was no bunting in that situation. And again, Cameron had a pretty hot bat against Atlee Monday night. So thinking here by Coach Knuckles may be, hey, let her swing away, see if we can't get an RBI and tie this thing up real quickly. A 1 swing and a miss, and Steinruck behind 0-2 now. With nobody out, but 1 runner on second. That is Maddie Stone, who reached on the air and advanced to second when the ball got past the first baseman on the grounder to short. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Steinruck goes down. Nice rise ball there from Hall. First strikeout of the night for either starting pitcher, and here comes the catcher, Cammie Brummett. With 1 out and Stone on second. First pitch in there for strike 1 very nicely, and Hall ahead of the count 0-1. 1 run and 2 hits and 1 error in that top of the first inning. All happening with 2 out to give Clover Hill the early lead. 0-1. High. Brummett wisely backs off, and the count's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the first, one out, and Maddie Stone, the runner at second. She represents the tying run here early. Hull ready, the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ball low and inside, and Brummett went for it, and she's behind in the count 1-2 with Fritz in the on-deck circle for the Jaguars. Hull's ready. 1-2 pitch. Fouled down the first base line. Out of play. Stays on this side of the extra fence. That'll be easy to retrieve. And the count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here with 1 out and Stone on second. Here on the second of 3 nights of live softball broadcasting here on the RVA Sports Network. 1-2. Fouled back behind us. And we'll stay at 1-2. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, live from Mechanicsville. We'll be up in the tower as number 1 Lee Davis, who again escaped that game against Mills Godwin last night, hosts number 7, the young and feisty Patriots of Patrick Henry, the oldest rivalry in Hanover County. Tomorrow at 7, 1-2 pitch, fouled back right behind us, and we'll stay at 1-2 as Brummett just got a piece of that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Stone on second with 1 out, bottom 1. Looking forward to watching the freshman Charlotte Mitchell in the circle for Patrick Henry against Lee Davis tomorrow night. 1-2. Grounder foul back to the fence in front of the Glen Allen dugout, and we will stay at 1-2. Brummett keeps fighting and keeps making Hull throw extra pitches. Hull gets the sign, and we're going to try the 1-2 one more time. Here it comes. Fouled back. Rise ball. Brummett gets a piece. And again, we'll try it at 1-2. So Lee Davis hosting Patrick Henry, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, live exclusively on the RVA Sports Network. Conclusion of softball week. 1-2 again. Popped up toward third. Underneath, making the catch, the third baseman. And there are 2 outs now here in the first inning as Wanless retires Brummett. Nice at bat from Cammie, but Hull induces the pop-up. Strike out, a pop-out, and now it's up to Fritz. Got to hit it cleanly to try to get Stone in to tie it up here at 1 apiece. 2 out, first pitch, swing and a miss, and Fritz is down to the count 0-1, and Stone retreats to second. If you're just joining us, Clover Hill scores on 2 hits and an error, all with 2 out in the top of the first. Maddie Stone reaches base on an error, goes to second. She's been there ever since. Next pitch to Fritz is outside, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As Julia now tries to help herself and try to get a hit to bring the speedy Stone around third and home to tie it up at 1 apiece. 1-0, bottom first, 2 out. 1-1, tap foul back to the screen in front of us, and it's 1-2 to Fritz. Fritz bats left as well as throws left. Steps in, lefty on lefty. Hall looking for the clarification for the pitch call, and she's ready. Here comes the 1-2. Rise ball high, 2-2. And Fritz steps out, swings once, and comes back into the batter's box. 2-2 with 2 out, and Stone on second. The Jags looking for the equalizer. 2-2 pitch. Tapped foul in the batter's box, and we'll keep it at 2-2. I mean, it is a gorgeous night tonight. And one thing we don't have is the wind. That was so, oh man, it was so horrific Monday night there at Atlee. And it affected both teams, no doubt about it. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Fritz goes down, and Glen Allen will strand. Stone on second. And we've played 1 here tonight. Night 2 of softball week. And your score number 5, Clover Hill 1, number 6, Glen Allen, 0.
Glen Allen in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 run.
We'll go to the second inning as we get a quick tweet out across our Twitter network at both Chesterfield Sports and Henrico Sports. Wherever you may be, make sure you follow us on Twitter for scores and updates and news. Not just that, we cover weather, we cover traffic, and whatever you are talking about. We have our county-centric hyperlocal feeds at Henrico Sports, at Chesterfield Sports, and our original one at Hanover Sports. And for coverage of sports all across the RVA, City of Richmond schools, Tri-City schools, surrounding counties and high school, as well as we retweet our suburban feeds and news on other sports in the area. Flying Squirrels are getting ready to have their official opening night here in about 20 minutes down at the Diamond. Follow us on the RVA Sports Net. That's at the RVA Sports Net. Of course, our complete broadcast schedule constantly updated at all of our websites, and that includes rvasportsnetwork.com. Just consult the right-hand side of the page. Again, next broadcast, the conclusion of softball week tomorrow night, 7 Eastern. Number 1, Lee Davis hosting rival number 7, Patrick Henry. We'll hit the air just before 7 o'clock here on our YouTube channel.
Number 15, Haley Gibson.
It's 7, 8, 9 in the order here. Top of the second for the Cavaliers. The designated player, Haley Gibson, will step into the batter's box. So we get our first final score of the afternoon, and we'll give that to you in just a moment as Fritz gets ready to work. First pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. James River softball has defeated Manchester today. 6-2 the final score. Next pitch is low and outside, and we're even. One ball, one strike. James River hosts Atlee on Monday at 4:30 p.m. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball to short. It's Stone with it. The throw to first is in time. And Gibson is retired for the first out of inning number 2, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Hannah Duncan.
Batting for Clover Hill, number 5, Hannah Duncan.
Duncan, the right-hander, into the batter's box, and Fritz steps on the rubber, and the first pitch is coming. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 1. So 6-2, James River, a winner over Manchester this afternoon. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and quickly down to 0-2. Fritz got the first 2 outs in the first inning on 2 grounders to Steinruck at second, and then that's when the fun began for Clover Hill, everything happening with 2 out. Swing and a tapper right in front of the plate. They say it's a fair ball. Brummett grabs it, throws to first, and Duncan is retired for out number 2. That'll bring up your left fielder, Ty Selby, the number 9 hitter in the order.
Number 1, Ty Selby.
Two out, nobody on, top second. Clover Hill up 1-0. First pitch high, 1-0 to Selby, top of the order. And Sam Cypress, the shortstop, is on deck should the inning continue. 1-0 pitch. At the knees for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the left fielder, Ty Selby. 1-1. Foul back here to the screen, and Selby down to the count 1-2 as we do have an occasional breeze that blows, and we have one coming through right now, and it is moving basically like the fierce wind tunnel did Monday night from center through the field and back to us at our broadcast position behind home plate. 1-2 pitch. Tap foul just over the fence and back behind the first base bleachers. 1-2, Selby stays alive. 1-2 pitch coming. On the corner, but just missed. 2-2 as Brummett set up to try to nip the outside of the plate. Didn't quite do it. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the number 9 hitter, Selby. Here, tie back into the batter's box, and Julia ready. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. Got away from her, and 1 hops to Brummett, and we are full at 3-2. Clover Hill did all their damage in the first inning, got the run, all with 2 out. They'd like to do that again here. Full count, 2 out, nobody on. Payoff pitch. Liner towards Steinruck at second, and she'll grab it with 1 hand, and the half inning is complete. So the Cavaliers down in order here in the top of the second. We'll go bottom 2 at 1-0 Clover Hill.
For Clover Hill, the top of the second inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no run.
Bottom second coming up, and the Jags will look to tie it again. They left Stone on second base in the first inning. Goldman, Wilson, Hedrick should be your hitters, 5, 6, 7 in the Jaguar order. We mentioned our next broadcast tomorrow night at 7, Patrick Henry at number 1, Lee Davis in softball. Another top 10 battle as softball week concludes here on the network. And then our game of the week returns to baseball next Friday night when Lee Davis suddenly struggling. Lost 9-0 at home to Mills Godwin last night. Heads to number 1 Hanover. And our live coverage of that game is at 7 Eastern next Friday, April 22nd here on RVA Sports Network. And again, all of our broadcasts are on our YouTube channel, so the best thing to do, go to youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. Click subscribe on our page. You won't get spammed. We won't bug you all the time. The only time you'll get notifications from us is when A, we put up a new video, or B, when we start another live broadcast. So go to youtube.com/RVA Sports Network, click subscribe, and never miss another live high school sports broadcast. We're the only ones who bring you live high school sports all year long. Not just football, but sports from August to June. The RVA Sports Network. We thank you so much for your support on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. Starting to use Periscope a little bit more at regular season matchups. And, of course, our weekly podcast and our live broadcasts. Hall ready. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Goldman goes after the high one. First baseman Lauren Goldman, who, again, her first at-bat back on Monday against Atlee. She lined a shot toward right center. And the wind curved it more toward right, ended in the gap for a double. Next pitch is low, and Goldman's even in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. James River baseball is underway. Got an update on that we'll have coming up in just a moment. 1-0 pitch, 1-1 pitch, I should say. And it's low for 2-1 on Lauren Goldman. Goldman, Wilson, Hedrick. 5, 6, 7 hitters scheduled here, bottom 2 for the Jaguars. 2-1 pitch. Tap toward first base, foul. Cornwith tried to go down and get it, but frankly, you would have had to have Kelly Warren's speed to have probably nabbed that one, as it wasn't very high in the air and was trailing toward the fence.
All right, how to take it.
Hall working with 2 strikes. Here it comes. Foul. Back behind us and out of play. And we'll stay even at 2-2. Hall gets the pitch call. Looks at her forearm and is ready. Got her on the rise ball. Goldman retired. The strikeout to Hall, her second of the evening. And there is 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning.
Batting for Glen Allen, number 12, Ashley Wilson.
That'll bring up Ashley Wilson, the right fielder. with 1 out and nobody on. First pitch, one hopper to the plate, and it's 1-0 to Wilson, who was part of that play at the plate in the 8th inning to cut down Aaron O'Flaherty and keep the extra innings affair alive back on Monday night. Next pitch is right in there for strike one, and we're even at 1-1. The single, Wilson grabbed it on a hop, got it to Steinruck, who turned around and threw a bullet to Brummett at the plate to cut down O'Flaherty. That would have been the winning run. Next pitch, ground ball, fair at third. Long throw to first is wide, and Wilson will head towards second. Right fielder gets the ball, throws towards second, and Wilson slides in safely. And so for the second time in as many innings, the Cavaliers have a throw from the left side of the infield go wide of first, and the Jags take advantage by advancing to second. And the Cavaliers want to have a little discussion, and here comes the infield, the catcher, and Hannah Hall, and they're all going to talk about it here in the circle as Clover Hill's defense asks for time. Wilson will be the runner at second.
For the Jaguars,
our friend Nick Vandelek at the Progress Index reports in baseball action, number 4 Prince George and number 5 Colonial Heights are tied at 1 after 1 inning. Katie Hedrick now the batter, the left fielder, with a runner at second. Let's see if she shows bunt with 1 out. First pitch shows bunt toward the pitcher. Wilson to third, retired at first, sacrifice successful. 2 out, and now the tying run at third base as the third baseman, Brittany Street, comes to the plate. First pitch. Outside corner for strike one. Pretty pitch by Hall, and she's ahead of the count 0-1 to the third baseman, Brittany Street.
Go, Cows, get you out.
Next pitch. Again on the outside corner, and quickly ahead in the count 0-2 is Hall. With Wilson at third base representing the tying run here in the bottom of inning number 2. Hannah Hall ahead in the count 0-2. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and got her. And the Jags will again leave a runner in scoring position. We've completed 2 innings of play, and number 5 Clover Hill continues to enjoy the 1-0 lead over number 6 Glen Allen. And just a fantastic job there by Hannah Hall, who just mowed Street down. She was no match for Hannah on that one. She's got 3 strikeouts and 2 innings of work, and none bigger than that one there to strand Ashley Wilson at first base. Let's go to inning number 3 in the top of the order for the 5th-ranked Clover Hill Cavaliers. Shortstop Sam Cyphers will start things off here. The shortstop, top of the order. Cyphers, Kreitzer, and Hall. It was Hannah Hall who scored in the first inning. First pitch. On the outside corner, Julia will nip the plate for strike one. Cyphers grounded out to second to start the game about a half hour ago. 0-1 delivery. Ground ball this time towards short. Stone's got it. Quick throw to first. And Cyphers is retired for the first out of the inning. So Sam 0 for 2 tonight. One away. And Kreitzer, the catcher, to bat. She too grounded out to second in the top of the first inning.
Clover Hill, number 13, Coral Kreitzer.
All right, CC.
Kreitzer ready. Fritz ready. First pitch, high for ball one. So the Jaguars are officially still looking for their first hit of the night. Both of their runners reaching base on Clover Hill errors. Clover Hill had 2 hits and benefited from an error. In the top of the first inning, they went down in order in the second. So 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for Clover Hill. No runs, no hits, and error for Glen Allen. Fritz just misses outside as Cammie Brummett lets the glove stay there for a moment, but it didn't change the umpire's mind. And the count goes to 2-0 on Kreitzer with Hall in the on-deck circle. 1 out, top of the third. On a perfect night for softball. Fritz ready, delivers. Ground ball toward third. Street has it. The throw to first. Goldman stays on the bag. It was wide to the right field fair side of first base, and Goldman did a nice job to stretch. Kreitzer retired, 2 out. And that'll bring up Hannah Hall, who singled up the middle and later scored the lone run of the night so far back in the first inning. First pitch is low for ball one. So James River Baseball up 1-0 in the first. Prince George Colonial Heights in a top 5 baseball battle. They're tied at 1 after 1. It's 1-0 here, top 3. 1-0 pitch. Fly ball down the right field line. Wilson going for it in foul ground, and she'll make the catch for the third out of the inning. Nice job there by Ashley Wilson on defense for Glen Allen. So the Cavaliers down in order again. And we'll be in the bottom of the third inning. Jags get a runner in scoring position each of the first 2 innings, but cannot convert. They'll try it again, down 1-0 here at home.
For Clover Hill on the top of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody got.
And while we have a quick second, a tip of the hat and a best of luck to our friends down in Farmville at Longwood University. It is opening night of 2 weeks of their annual spring musical. This is one's called the Musical of Musicals, The Musical. And a new friend of ours and Patrick Henry graduate, G. Reese, one of the leads in that production. And of course, we're keenly aware of what happens in that department because my daughter Rachel is a freshman and a theater education major there at Longwood University. So she should be in the house, if not tonight, one night this weekend. The play runs this weekend and next weekend. Best of luck to Lancer Drama. Jaguar Drama here at Glen Allen put on a heck of a performance with Legally Blonde, the musical, last week. We were there for that one on Saturday night. And just a personal note, my daughter graduated from here last year, which is why we have the personal connection. Bottom third, Jaguars to bat, looking for that first hit and looking for the equalizing run, down 1-0. It'll be 9-1-2. Ashley Haley, the center fielder, stepping to the plate. She'll lead it off with Stone and Steinruck to come. Hall, no hits. 2 errors have the 2 runners from the last 2 innings for the Jags, who got stranded. Stone at second, Wilson at third. First pitch at the knees, inside corner for strike 1. Hall ahead of the count, 0-1. Cavaliers looking for their 7th win of the young season. 0-1 pitch. Fouled down the third baseline and out of play. And Haley behind the count, 0-2. One thing we haven't talked about tonight is how both of these teams are in new classifications, new conferences, and new regions. And so the playoffs will be different for both of them here in 2016. 0-2 pitch. Misses low, and it's 1-2. Clover Hill moving up from 5A to 6A. And so they are now in Conference 3. Hall ready with the 1-2 pitch, and here it comes. Liner to third and right into the glove of Wanless. Holly with the putout, and there's one away here in the bottom of the third inning.
Heading for the Jaguars, number 1, Maddie Stone.
So to the top of the order, and the shortstop, Maddie Stone, with one out and nobody on here in the bottom of the third, and the Cavs enjoying the 1-0 lead. So that means that Clover Hill come postseason time. First pitch, lined into left center field, well hit, and it is to the wall in the gap. Stone around second, and she'll stop there with a 1-out double. And Stone on base for the second time tonight, and it's the first base hit for Glen Allen. A 1-out double into the gap in left center, and that'll bring up Cameron Steinruck.
11, Cameron Steinruck.
Stone was stranded at second back in the first inning. Let's see if the Jaguars can make amends this time. First pitch misses outside. Steinruck again not showing bunt. In the second, Katie Hedrick had a beautiful sac bunt to get Ashley Wilson over from second to third, but she was stranded there. 1-0 the count on the second baseman. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and we're even at 1-1, and Steinruck slams the bat into the dirt, going, oh, I could have done a lot better than that. And we mentioned Cameron's 2 hits against Atlee back on Monday night earlier. 1-1 pitch. Now she shows bunt, and it taps foul. And Steinruck behind the count now, 1-2. Hull with the advantage here as Stone stands on second base for the second time tonight. One and two, runner at second, 1 out, bottom 3. Swing and a miss, and Steinruck goes down swinging. 4th strikeout of the night for Hannah Hall, and that'll bring up the catcher, Cammie Brummett, with 2 out and Stone on second.
Cammie Brummett.
And the Jags in danger of leaving a runner on base in scoring position for the 3rd consecutive inning. We'll talk more about the new classifications for these two teams at the half-inning break. First pitch. Line down the first base line and foul. Foul by a good 8 feet, and it's 0-1 on Brummett. Should she get aboard, Julia Fritz is on deck. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Stone at second. Jags trying to get the equalizer for the 3rd consecutive inning. Cavs scored 1 top of the first. It's held since. Brummett holds on the rise ball, and it's high, and we're even at 1-1. Cammie going to continue her career at Oakland University in the fall. She is one of several seniors here for Glen Allen. Lined into center field, playable though, and making the catch in center for the 3rd out of the inning is Taylor Davis. And so for the 3rd consecutive inning, the Jags get a runner in scoring position but cannot get them to the plate. We go to the 4th. And your score, number 5, Clover Hill 1. Number 6, Glen Allen, nothing.
For Glen Allen in the bottom of the 3rd, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 run.
So the story of the night here, 2-out rally in the 1st for Clover Hill to get Hull home with the lone run so far, and 3 missed opportunities for Glen Allen. 2 unearned and 1 earned, leaving 3 runners in scoring position, 1 in each of the first 3 innings. Top of the 4th now with Clover Hill to bat and up by a run at 1-0. Mentioned the new classifications, Clover Hill now in 6A, which means they're in conference number 3. Manchester came along with them. And so come postseason, those 2 teams will not be in Conference 12 and won't be in 5A. They're up in 6A South now, and so the postseason includes James River and Cosby and a Thomas Dale team that gave Prince George their first loss of the season last night, 1-0. Suddenly, that Conference 3 softball tournament next month looks really interesting. You've got 5 teams that will be fighting essentially for 2 spots. Franklin County a bit down this year, the lone non-RVA team. And, of course, there's Glen Allen now up from 4A to 5A, and they're in Conference 11 with their West End brethren like Deep Run and Mills Godwin, and as well, number 1 Lee Davis. And so they're going to be fighting for a regional berth come Conference 11 tournament time in about 5 weeks. We start top of the 4th inning. First pitch, it's a check swing, base hit, goes past Street at third, and Hannah Snowdens is on board with a leadoff single. And that will bring up the center fielder, Taylor Davis. Won't see that every day. A check swing, single to left field. And Snowdens is on first base. First pitch high to Taylor Davis for ball 1.
Sweet tea.
Next pitch, ground toward third. Street has trouble getting it. Tries to throw to first, and it's not in time. So Taylor Davis reaches on the air by the third baseman. First and second, and nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Showing bunt, pushing it down the first base line. The throw to first, Steinrich covering, and a fantastic sacrifice bunt by Holly Wanless, the third baseman. First out of the inning, and here comes Haley Gibson, the designated player, and a chance to bring some home and up that 1-0 lead here in the top of the 4th. First pitch, swing and a miss. And Fritz ahead in the count, 0-1. Fritz is ready. And the 0-1. Pop up. Second baseman Steinrich calls for it, makes the catch. For the second out of the inning, that's a big out for the Jags. Now that puts pressure on the number 8 hitter, the right fielder, Hannah Duncan. Got to find a way to get on board and keep the inning alive. 2 out and 2 in scoring position. Duncan ready. First pitch from Fritz. Check swing, but the home plate umpire says she did not check it in time. Strike 1. Hannah Duncan down to the count, 0-1. 2 out, runners at second and third. Cavs trying to extend the lead. 0-1 pitch. Tapper foul back here to the screen, and quickly it's 0-2 on the number 8 hitter in the lineup, Hannah Duncan. Trying to get at least 1 in, and a base hit could bring 2 home. Davis at second. Snowdens at third. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. And Fritz gets out of the inning, and the Cavaliers strand a pair. So we're in the middle of the 4th inning, and an opportunity passes the Cavaliers by to extend the lead here on the road. It's Clover Hill 1, Glen Allen 0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runs.
And the Jaguars for the 4th inning in a row going to try to tie things up or take the lead. Fantastic night here for the game. Rather quiet evening because normally in the springtime you come out to a school and there's multiple games going on. There's softball and soccer or softball and baseball or even all 3, but we are the only thing on the docket here tonight at Glen Allen High School. There were other teams here practicing. The Glen Allen varsity baseball team just finished their practice up, and they're heading back to the showers. Lacrosse was here. Soccer was here earlier. But we are the only game in town on this beautiful Thursday evening. Rob Witham along with you. Thanks for being with us for the second of 3 nights of live top 10 softball coverage here on the RVA Sports Network. New top 10 softball and baseball polls, for that matter, by the way, coming out Sunday on the new edition of Central Region Now, the exclusive podcast of the RVA Sports Network, as well as on Twitter and at rvasportsnetwork.com. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Jaguars here in the fourth. First pitch to Julia Fritz is in there for strike one, and Hull, her counterpart, ahead in the count 0-1. 1-0. Fifth-ranked Cavaliers with the lead over number 6, Glen Allen. 0-1 pitch down the right field. Well, they make that left field line, hooking, and just foul. For a brief moment, it looked like trouble, and then what little wind there is right now, there is a bit of a breeze blowing. Help curve it, and it ends up over the short fence down the left field line here at Glen Allen. 0-2 the count. Hull ahead. Fritz, Goldman, Wilson scheduled here in the bottom of inning number 4. 0-2. Fly ball. Center field. Coming in. Davis misses it. It gets behind her. Fritz around second and will slide head first into third base. And just as that ball was hit and hung in the air, the wind was playing with it a bit, and Davis struggled with it. Have to call that an error. And Fritz will get all the way to third. The veteran senior play of Julia Fritz, she thought, okay, if there's trouble, I want to get as far around the bases as possible. She never quit on it, never thought it was going to be a routine fly, and is rewarded by making it all the way to third base. And timeout is called, and Clover Hill wants to have a conversation as the coach is going to come out and talk with Hall and the infielders. And it'll be Lauren Goldman, the first baseman, due up. So Fritz reaches base on the air in center field. And she represents the tying run here in the bottom of the fourth. And now make it 4 consecutive innings where Glen Allen has had a runner in scoring position. The first 3 times they have not been able to plate the run. This is their best chance. They've never had a runner at third with nobody out here this evening. They do now. As the first baseman, Goldman, comes to the plate. And we'll see how Hannah Hull responds here. First pitch, high for ball 1. She's been getting several of the Jags to chase that rise ball tonight. That time, Goldman would have none of it. And Lauren is ahead of the count 1-0. 1-0, Fritz at third. Nobody out, bottom 4. Next pitch fouled back behind the first base bleachers, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. First time we've had Clover Hill here live on RVA Sports Network, and was very excited when we saw this game on the schedule and immediately reached out to the AD here at Glen Allen to make this happen. And time called by Goldman as she'll step out of the batter's box. We've had Glen Allen a few times over the years, including this past Monday night in that 9-inning thriller at Atlee. 1-1 pitch. High on the rise ball again. The count 2-1 to Goldman. Ashley Wilson, the right fielder, is on deck. Fritz is on third. 2-1 the count, nobody out, bottom 4. Jags down 1-0. 2-1 pitch. Tap foul back to the screen. And we're even at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Lauren Goldman with Julia Fritz at third. Reaching on the air in center field here at the start of the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-2. Strike 3. Goldman. Fans looking. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Hitting for the Jaguars, number 12, Ashley Wilson.
By our count, I believe 5 Ks now tonight for Hannah Hall. Ashley Wilson to the plate. 1 out, Fritz at third. Jags down a run. Wilson shows bunt, pulls back, pitch outside for ball 1.
I like the move, Cavs. Let's go.
Cavaliers playing as if there could be a possible squeeze here. 1-0 the count. Hall gets the sign, looks at her forearm and is ready. Now she shakes a pitch off. Wilson asks for time. Oh, we're going to get a balk called by the home plate umpire. And Fritz is going to come in to score. Home plate umpire rules that she had the ball in the glove, out of the glove, put it back in, and calls a balk on Hall. And Fritz is in, and we are tied. 2-0 pitch hits Wilson. And Ashley is aboard with 1 out, and Hall is a little rattled right now. But here's the issue. Coach has already come out and had a conversation. If he does it again, she's got to come out. And so that's not going to happen. So the infield quickly goes to the circle to calm her down.
Focus, turn 2. Let's go.
And that's going to bring up Katie Hedrick, who had a beautiful sacrifice bunt a couple of innings ago. And Wilson now, after the hit by pitch, is at first with 1 out. Showing bunt, popped it up, catcher underneath, and Kreitzer has it for the 2nd out of the inning. Hedrick could not get the bunt down this time, and Carl did a great job aggressively getting up to get that one, and that's a very important 2nd out of the inning, and that'll bring up Brittany Street, the third baseman, coming to the plate. First pitch to her. Swing and a miss on the rise ball for strike 1. And Hull quickly gets her mojo back and is ahead of the count 0-1. So the balk allows Fritz to come in from third. Next pitch, another rise ball, and Street just swinging at anything right now. And the count's 0-2, and Coach Knuckles comes in and says, hey, calm it down. Calm it down. Street struggling at the plate right now. Hull trying to take full advantage of it. Keep it at a 1-1 tie. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And another strikeout, number 6 for Hannah Hall. But the Jaguars, finally, 4th time is the charm. They get a run in to tie it up. And after 4 complete tonight, it is number 5, Clover Hill 1, and number 6, Glen Allen 1.
For Glen Allen in the bottom of the 4th inning, 1 run, unearned, no hits.
We go to the 5th inning, and it's a new one. Brand new game. 4-2 Glen Allen, 6-1 Clover Hill. And the Jags, on the 4th time tonight, they had a runner in scoring position. Finally get a run home, but in a most unusual way, as the balk is called on the pitcher Hull, and it allows Fritz, the runner at third, to come in. Schedule gets no easier for Clover Hill, and we'll talk about that in the next half inning. 9-1-2 hitters in this 5th inning for your Cavaliers, beginning with Ty Selby, the freshman. Check that, the sophomore left fielder. First pitch from Fritz, showing bunt and bunted foul right underneath the Cammie Brummett's foot, and the count is 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch coming from Fritz, showing bunt again, fouled once again, right back to Brummett, and Selby is behind in the count 0-2, and that'll take the bunt out of play most likely. Cypress, Kreitzer, top of the order, still to come as the Cavs try to get one and retake the lead. 1-1 tie, 0-2 pitch. Fouled right back here to our broadcast position. You heard the ball rattle off the fence right here in front of us. Comfortable evening in my easy chair. Got my computer right here on my lap. Right behind home plate. Couldn't have a better view. Another 0-2 coming from Fritz. Tapped foul down the third base line and just foul. As Street, the third baseman, thought it was foul, and when she let it go, it actually hit the line, and then that one more time it bounced, and that was foul just before it got to the bag. That was too close for comfort if you're a Jaguar. We'll try 0-2 again. Fritz coming. Tapper towards second. Steinruck got it. Throw to first in time. And the speedy Selby is retired for out number 1. Top of the order for Clover Hill.
Batting for Clover Hill, number 9, Sam Cypress.
Cypress, the shortstop, is 0 for 2 tonight. She grounded to second and then grounded to short. First pitch popped it up toward the first baseman. Goldman going to get it and will make the catch just as Cypress goes past her down the first base line. For a second, I was a little afraid they might run into each other. And Cypress is retired for the second out of the inning. 2 down, nobody on. And that'll bring up the catcher, Coral Kreitzer. The player to do the damage tonight so far for Clover Hill to get that 2-out rally going top of the first. Hannah Hull, the pitcher, is on deck should Kreitzer get aboard. First pitch. Shows bunt, misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Coral, a junior, one of 3 on the team. Wanless, the third baseman, and Davis, the center fielder, are the 3 juniors on this Clover Hill squad. 1-0 delivery. Lined into right field. Past Steinruck at second for a 2-out hit. So the single for Kreitzer will keep the inning going, and maybe another 2-out rally coming for Clover Hill. The one who got it started in the first inning is now to the plate in the form of Hannah Hall. You're listening to live coverage of Softball Week here on the RVA Sports Network as we approach the top of the hour on this beautiful Thursday night. Rob Witham along with you. Top of the 5th. First pitch is high for ball 1. Hannah Hall at the plate for Clover Hill in a 1-1 tie. 2 out with Kreitzer, who got the 2-out single to right a minute ago, at first base. 1-0 pitch. High again. 2-0 the count. Hall, we mentioned a moment ago, started the 2-out rally in the first, and she scored the lone run for the Cavs so far tonight. Jags got their run back in the bottom of the 4th just a moment ago. 2-0 pitch. Fly down the left field line into foul territory, and Hedrick, the left fielder, will not be able to get to it. And the count will be 2 balls and 1 strike. Girls soccer final just in on Twitter, thanks to our friend Lara Baker. Monacan defeats Huguenot tonight, 8-0 the final score. So congratulations to the Chiefs. 2-1 pitch. High again. And Hall's ahead in the count, 3-1. Now we'll see, do you put her on and try to fight the next batter, or do you give something for Hall to hit? Let's see, 3-1 coming. Misses low, ball 4. Hall is aboard on the 2-out walk. And it's Snowton's coming up to the plate with 2 on and 2 out in a 1-1 tie.
For the Cavaliers, number 10, Hannah Snowden.
First and second, 2 out, top of the 5th. First pitch is low for ball 1. Fritz in a little bit of trouble right now. I'm going to have to work her way out of it. Again, happening with 2 outs here in the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Foul. Stays in the batter's box. Snowton's is even in the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. second baseman,
All right, see? The sweet
one of
spot.
5 senior leaders on this Clover Hill team that really came into their own last year. 1-1 pitch. Oh, that goes into the helmet, I believe, and that should be a hit by pitch. Yeah. She's okay. Hannah will head to the bag, and the bases are loaded with 2 out for Taylor Davis. And we're going to get a timeout called here as they are asking for a trainer, as they're going to have to go take a look at Snowton's at first base. Her coach looking at it right now. And again, she got hit in the helmet, and I think it wasn't as much the ball as it was what happened when the helmet was jarred. That may be the issue, and it looks like they're looking at her mouth. So to reset it for you here, it is 1-1 in the top of the 5th. There are 2 out, and the bases are now loaded. Again, another 2-out rally for Clover Hill. They got everything in business in the first inning, scoring their lone run with 2 out. And here with 2 out in the 5th, Hall singled. Check that. Kreitzer singled. Hall walked. And Snowton's gets aboard with a hit in the helmet on the hit by pitch. 1 for each pitcher tonight. And now bases are jammed for the center fielder, Taylor Davis, with a chance to break this open. 2 out, 1-1 tie top 5. Huge at bat here. First pitch from Fritz. In there for strike 1. And Davis behind the count 0-1. Gets the call from head coach Glenn Corbin down the third base line.
Break on it. Come on, girl.
And we get ready. Next pitch. High. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Come on, get
1-1 to Davis. Bases filled with 2 out here in the 5th. Next pitch. Line down to right field and into right for a base hit. Gets by Steinruck. 1 run in, throw into the plate, and Hall is in. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Taylor Davis. And the Cavaliers retake the lead at 3-1.
Let's go, Cubs. Holly, it's over here. Let's go.
Heading for Clover Hill, number 7, Holly Weinlass.
That brings up Holly Wanless, the third baseman, with runners at the corners and 2 out. Pitch right across there for strike 1, and Fritz is ahead of the count 0-1. The count. First and third, 2 out. 3-1. The lead to Clover Hill. Next pitch outside, and we're even at 1 ball and 1 strike. It took the Jags 4 innings to tie it on the benefit of a balk by Hall. And now Hall helps the 2-out rally here and scores her 2nd run tonight. She has 2 of the 3 runs scored for Clover Hill. 1-1 pitch high, and it's 2-1 now. Should Wanless get aboard? The designated player, Gibson, is awaiting her turn at bat. 3-1 Clover Hill. 2-1 pitch from Fritz. Foul back here to the screen, and we're even at 2-2. King William Baseball, it's a final. They fall 3-2 this afternoon to Matthews in baseball action. 2-2 pitch coming from Fritz. It's low, and we go full at 3-2 with runners at the corners. They'll be going with 2 out. The Cavs would love another insurance run to up the 2-run lead to 3. Snowton's at third. 3-2. Foul. Goes off the protector at the chest of the umpire. And we'll go again at 3-2 in a moment. as he'll shake it off. Not the easiest place to be, either the catcher or the home plate umpire. And he's okay and is ready to go. Another 3-2 pitch coming. Runners will be going from first and third. Here it comes. Lined behind first and caught in foul ground by Goldman for the third out of the inning. So they leave 2, but they score 2. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. And Clover Hill again with the lead. The Jaguars face their biggest deficit of the evening. Bottom 5 coming, and our score at 3-1. Little after 7, the sun is out nicely, but the wind's picking up a little bit, and it's getting a little chilly out here. So if you'll excuse me for a moment, going to put my computer down to the ground for just a sec. And I was not armed with my jacket last night at Lee Davis, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, by the time we finished that game up high in the Lee Davis softball tower, it was downright chilly. And the first 2 things I did after leaving Mechanicsville last night was to put the heater on in the car full blast and then go home and take a very hot shower. So we're a little better prepared here tonight. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It'll be 9, 1, and 2 in the batting order. Scheduled for the Jags, now down by their biggest deficit tonight at 2 runs. 3-1 is the score. Got a brief delay here, as there may be a replacement defensively coming in for Clover Hill. Let's see. No. We thought maybe Snowtons might not come back in, but she is. Remember, she got hit in the helmet with that pitch last inning that helped keep the 2-out rally alive, and she was shaken up a bit. She's got her defensive face mask on.
All right, Cavs, let's go.
She'll report to second base. She's tough and a fighter. And we're ready. Bottom 5.
3 up, 3 down, Cavs. Let's shut it.
Hull is ready. Ashley Haley, the center fielder, ready. And here we go. First pitch is high for ball 1. And the Jaguars now need 2 to tie. After getting that first run to tie it up 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th, Cavs respond with 2 on another 2-out rally to take the 3-1 lead. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for strike 1. We're even. 1 ball and 1 strike. Haley, top of the order, Maddie Stone and Cameron Steinruck here in the bottom of the 5th for Glen Allen. Cavs looking for win number 7. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hall looking for strikeout number 7. Ahead of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned Clover Hill. It doesn't get any easier for them schedule-wise, and we'll promise we'll talk about that in a moment. 1-2 pitch is low, and we're even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, leadoff hitter Haley. Next pitch, very high. Rise ball gets away from her. And we're full at 3-2 as Haley tries to get aboard and get something going here for the Jaguars. In the bottom of the 5th, suddenly down 3-1 to number 5, Clover Hill. Number 5 and number 6 battling each other in our top 10 softball poll. Payoff pitch. Outside for ball 4, and Ashley Haley draws the leadoff walk. Top of the order, it's Maddie Stone, as the Jags try to respond here in the bottom of inning number 5. See if Stone shows bunt here. She does not, and she'll take strike one right down the pike. 0-1 the count to Maddie Stone, the shortstop. Second baseman Steinruck, who's 0 for 2 tonight, is on deck. Oh, 1, swing and a miss, and Stone behind the count quickly, 0-2. Hall is ready. 0-2 pitch coming. And time called. Stone will step out. After 4 complete, James River Baseball leads Manchester 4-1. Thanks to our buddy Carmody Picks on Twitter for that update. 0-2 pitch, foul back behind us, and we'll stay at 0-2. Clover Hill would love to hit the bus and take 295 down to 288 and head back to school with win number 7 on the season. 0-2 pitch again coming now from Hall to Stone. Grounder back to the hill. Hall, only one play, that's to first, and they'll retire Stone by a step, and Haley will advance to second with 1 away. So 1 out for Cameron Steinruck.
Number 11, Cameron Steinruck.
You ready, Hal? Acting Coral.
1 out, bottom of the 5th, runner at second. First pitch, swing and a miss. Steinruck down 0-1. She struck out her last time up. And this is the 5th inning in a row. Every inning tonight, the Jags have had at least 1 runner in scoring position. Twice previously, they left a runner at second, all alone. Showing bunt, and it goes down the first baseline, but trails foul. Cameron, good thought, just couldn't keep it in fair territory, and 0-2 the count now on Steinruck. And Hall ahead, trying to get that key second out. Cammie Brummett, who frankly is overdue for a big hit, is on deck. 0-2 pitch coming with 1 out. Got her. Steinruck again chases the rise ball. Second time she struck out today. 7 for Hull tonight, and 2 out for Cammie Brummett.
Ready for Glen Allen, number 17, Cammie Brummett.
2 out. Haley at second. Brummett at the plate represents the tying run. First pitch coming. Outside for ball 1. Cammie's got power. There's not much wind at the moment. She could drive 1 out and tie it in 1 swing. And Hall has to be mindful of that, and I'm sure she is. Checks the forearm for the call. Next pitch. Popped it up. Second baseman into short right center field. Will go back, and Snowtons makes the catch for out number 3. And we go to the 6th inning here as softball week continues on the game of the week on the RVA Sports Network. And your score, number 5 Clover Hill 3, number 6 Glen Allen 1. The Jags leave a runner at second, 5th straight inning.
No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 run.
That they've stranded at least 1 in scoring position. Don't forget, we're back on the air tomorrow night, 24 hours from now. Excuse me. We will be up in the tower at Lee Davis High School. Our final rivalry week, our final softball week broadcast. It will be a rivalry night showdown between number 7 Patrick Henry and top ranked number 1 undefeated Lee Davis. That'll be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, here on the RVA Sports Network. All of our broadcasts at our YouTube channel. So subscribe now at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network. And, of course, we always tweet out links to our live broadcasts. Tomorrow night's broadcast link will be, of course, available always on the RVA Sportsnet on Twitter, and tomorrow night at Hanover Sports on Twitter. All of our broadcast information and updates in game here tonight found on our Twitter network at Chesterfield Sports and Henrico Sports. Follow us wherever you are for hyper-local coverage like no one else here from the RVA Sports Network. Rob Witham along with you. It is the top of the sixth, and the Cavs with the lead at 3-1. First pitch is loped towards short, and Stone will make the catch, and Gibson is retired for out number one. One away. That'll bring up Hannah Duncan for Clover Hill here in the top of the sixth inning.
Hannah Duncan.
Top 10 baseball update. Number 4, Prince George leading number 5, Colonial Heights at Shepherd Stadium 4-1. They've reached the middle of the fourth inning there. First pitch fouled off by Duncan, and she's down in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Ty Selby is on deck for Clover Hill, enjoying the 3-1 advantage here in the top of the sixth inning. Fritz is ready and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Line towards second and right to Steinruck, and there are 2 out here in the top of the sixth inning. So a looper to short, a liner to second, and quickly 2 down for Clover Hill, and they're half of the sixth. Jags trying to get out 1, 2, 3 and get back to the plate to try to cut into this 2-run deficit. They're down to their last 6 outs. Ty Selby to bat. She'll pop one up. Brummett will try to get it and can't quite do it down the first baseline. It's a foul ball, and the count will be 0-1. But boy, Cammie was up quickly, chasing that one. Selby gets new life at 0-1. Earlier finals tonight. In softball, James River beats Manchester 6-2. In girls soccer, Monacan defeats Huguenot 8-0 the final. 0-1 to Selby. Outside and low, and we're even at 1-1. Nobody on with 2 out here, top of the sixth. But this is where Clover Hill's done all their damage tonight with 2 outs. 1-1. This is low, and Fritz behind now, 2-1 to Ty Selby. If she gets aboard, Cypress, the shortstop, is on deck, the top of the order for the Cavaliers. 2-1 pitch coming now from Fritz. That's in there at the knees for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out and nobody on. Fritz, the left-hander, ready, and she deals. Tap foul, and Selby stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Number 7, Patrick Henry at number 1, Lee Davis here tomorrow night at 7 as softball week concludes. Back to baseball next Friday the 22nd as number 8, Lee Davis, goes to number 1, Hanover here on RVA SN. 2-2 is in there, called strike 3, and the side is retired. And the Jaguars head to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, running out of time, though, down 2-1. So the Cavs down in order here in the top of the 6th. 3-1 the score here at top 10 softball, number 5 Clover Hill, number 6 Glen Allen. We talked about a little while ago the schedule upcoming for Clover Hill. Let's talk about it in depth. After tonight, they're off tomorrow. Monday, they head to Chester to take on the Thomas Dale team, who will be sky high after giving Prince George their first loss of the year last night in a 1-0 nail-biter. And then they get a few at home. On Tuesday afternoon, they host Monacan. On Thursday, Cosby comes calling. That'll be a very good Conference 3 showdown. And then a week from Monday, Amelia comes in for a afternoon home game. Then on the 26th, they go to Midlothian, and then they host James River 2 weeks from today. That'll be a 4:30 game at Clover Hill. Then after that game, their biggest games left on the schedule is a trip to Manchester Tuesday, May 3rd, and they host Thomas Dale May 16th before their regular season comes to a close. on May 19th when they get ready for the Conference 3 tournament. Julia Fritz steps in, bottom 6th. Hall with the 3-1 lead. First pitch, high for ball 1. Fritz ahead in the count, 1-0. Julia scored the only run of the night so far for the Jags on that balk after she was at third base. Next pitch low in the dirt, 2-0. Fritz ahead. Fritz, Goldman, Wilson scheduled here in inning number 6. Bottom half of the frame here live at Glen Allen High School. Jags down 3-1. 2-0 pitch. That's a strike. Right across the plate, the count is 2-1. Hall ready. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and we're even at 2-2. Nice movement on that one. And Hall fights back. And gets it even 2 balls, 2 strikes as the sun starts to go bye-bye. Next pitch in there for strike 3. Fritz saw it and just heads back to the bench. 8 strikeouts tonight for Hannah Hall. 1 away here in the 6th, and Goldman, the first baseman, to the plate.
Heading for the Jaguars, number 20, Lauren Goldman.
Boy, lots of things going on tonight. Flying Squirrels opener is underway, home opener. Yes, they have played a few at home, but they were technically Hartford home games as the new team in the Eastern League didn't have a place to play to start. They were like the Richmond Braves back in 1985 when they had to start their season on the road for about 10 days before the diamond was ready. 31 summers ago. Goldman to the plate, 1-0 pitch to her is low, and it's 2-0 to the first baseman, Goldman, with 1 out and nobody on. Jags down 3-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stanley Cup games going, the Caps and the Flyers game 1 just getting started, and the NFL releases their 2016 schedule at the top of the hour. Goldman asks for time and will step out of the box. The count even at 1-1. Nobody on, Jags down 2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 pitch. Outside. And one of the few times, if maybe the only time tonight, that Hall has been behind 3-0 to a Glen Allen Jaguar. Hall gets the sign, checks the forearm, and here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's in there for strike 1. Goldman taking all the way. Coach Knuckles at third base with the message to Lauren Goldman, the first baseman, and here we go. 3-1 pitch coming. Fouled back to the screen, first base side. And suddenly it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and the WNBA draft is tonight, too. That's right. And, of course, you know, we've followed Atlantic 10 women's basketball here the last 3 seasons, with the tournament having been at the Coliseum. We know Jonquel Jones of George Washington's going to get a pick tonight. Next pitch, outside corner for strike 3. Oh, my. Hannah Hall fights back from a 3-0 count to get a called third strike for her 9th K of the night, and there's 2 out and nobody on for Ashley Wilson.
Ashley Wilson.
Wilson has had some success at the plate tonight, some of it painfully as she was hit by a pitch earlier in the game. 2 away, bottom 6, nobody on. First pitch is a rise ball that is high. Did she go? No. Checked her swing. Ball 1 to Wilson, the right fielder. Should she get aboard, Katie Hedrick, the left fielder, is on deck for Glen Allen. Down by 2, 4 outs to go. 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1, and we're even at 1-1. Huge night of softball in the area tomorrow night. 1-1 pitch. That one just kind of got away from Hannah and floated to the plate high, and it's 2-1. Of course, we'll be at number 7, Patrick Henry, at number 1, Lee Davis, live here on the network. And Next pitch coming. That's in there for strike. 2-2 the count. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes as Hall threatens to strike out the side here. Our Taylor Luck will be live at Atlee Hanover tomorrow night as number 2 battles number 4 in top 10 softball. Big night tomorrow. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and striking out the side is Hannah Hall, and we go to the bottom, to the top of the 7th inning at 3-1. 3 outs away from win number 7.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left.
And Hannah Hall strikes out the side. She's got 10 tonight. And after 6 innings, Clover Hill continues with the lead. Here is softball week continues. Live on the RVA Sports Network. Very impressive 6th inning there for Hannah Hall, and suddenly the Jags are 3 outs now instead of 6. They could not get anything going in the 6th inning. Now for Fritz and company, they got to make sure that they keep it at a 2-run deficit. That last chance coming. Bottom 7. Top of the order, though, for Clover Hill. Sam Cyphers will lead it off. She's 0 for 3 tonight, so she's due. Cyphers and Kreitzer and Hannah Hall, who has scored 2 of Clover Hill's 3 runs. First pitch line, foul, just foul down the first base line. Oh, that was close to extra bases.
Welcome back, Sam. Let's go.
And the count is now 0-1. On the shortstop, Sam Cyphers, the top of the order for these Clover Hill Cavaliers, looking to move to 7-1 on the season ahead of that matchup with Thomas Dale on Monday. 0-1 pitch. Foul back here to the screen, and the count is 0-2. Question is, could Thomas Dale fight their way into our top 10 poll after that upset win over Prince George? We'll find out when the new one comes out Sunday. And there'll be some shakeups because we've got 2 more top 10 games tomorrow night, one here on the network. 0-2 pitch. And also down the first base line and just foul. As Goldman gives chase, but it's about 1.5 feet wide of the bag, and Wilson will go grab it in the corner and bring it back in play. 2 times, man, almost hugging that first base line. 0-2 pitch from Fritz. Tapped here to the screen. And Sam stays alive at 0-2. One player we did not see tonight, at least so far for Clover Hill, Elizabeth Britton, not in the lineup, one of the 5 seniors for Clover Hill. 0-2 pitch coming from Fritz. Into right field, Wilson there, and she'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. Cyphers with a good at-bat. That one just floated in the air long enough to where Wilson could get it to retire.
For the Cavaliers, number 13, Coral Kreitzer.
Baseball final score just in, thanks to our friend Justin McAwee down at the Hopewell News. Hopewell beats Meadowbrook tonight, 15-5 is the final. Kreitzer's going to pop one up high. Stone at short coming to get it and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 out, nobody on. And Hannah Hall to the plate. This is exactly where we were in the first inning when Hall started the activity for the Cavaliers, and they scored 1, and it was 2 out, nobody on in the 5th when they got the 2-out rally going to retake the lead. First pitch lined up the middle and a base hit into center field. And Hannah Hall is aboard. So Hall with a 2-out single here in the 7th. And that brings up the second baseman, Hannah Snowtons. And we're going to get a courtesy runner for Hall. Mackenzie Grosser is your courtesy runner for the pitcher, Hannah Hall. So Grosser at first with 2 out here in the top of the 7th. And the Cavs trying to build on the 3-0 lead. First pitch. On the outside corner, Fritz ahead 0-1. We should soon be hearing from our Taylor Luck. Taylor RVASN on Twitter is going to be live at the Boys Lacrosse Showdown here in a few moments. Atlee and Hanover. Good starts for both those teams this year. Next pitch fouled here to the screen, and Snowtons is quickly down 0-2. With Grosser, the courtesy runner for Hall, who got aboard on the two-out single up the middle. Hall's second hit of the night. 0-2, two-out, top 7. 3-1 Cavaliers. The pitch down the left field line. High. Hedrick making chase and can't get there, and it's a foul ball near the fence. And we'll stay at 0-2. And Taylor, just as I say that, sends out his first tweet, and we're set and ready. We'll have updates and retweets on Hanover Sports, but you should follow our reporter, Taylor Luck. He's out a couple of nights each week helping us with our coverage at Taylor RVASN on Twitter. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Fritz gets the strikeout. They'll strand the runner at first, and we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for number 6, Glen Allen, with the score. Number 5, Clover Hill, 3. And the Jaguars, 1. So Hall back to the hill, to the circle. She's got 10 Ks tonight and is going to look to close it out. Boy, it's been a lot of fun. Tuesday night, not much going on. Our original broadcast to Mills Godwin Lee Davis pushed back, and it was Wednesday, and we had the Twitter coverage of it last night. Great week for softball, though. The Atlee Glen Allen 9-inning thriller on Monday night. Tonight's game has been a good one. Last night's Lee Davis Godwin game was a great one. We've got 2 huge top 10 games tomorrow night. We'll have the number 7 Patrick Henry at number 1 Lee Davis game live here. Listen live on the network at 7 o'clock on our YouTube channel tomorrow night. And we'll have Twitter coverage with Taylor RVASN on Twitter of number 2 Atlee at number 4 Hanover. Hanover, one of the few unbeaten teams left. Lee Davis also unbeaten. So if you like softball tomorrow night, be with us here live on RVA Sports Network and on Twitter. Katie Hedrick will lead off the bottom of the 7th. Glen Allen needs 2 to tie and 3 to walk off, and it's the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. Hedrick, Street, Haley. We'll see if there's any pinch hitters. First pitch, rise ball high for ball 1. Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for Street as Maddie Crabtree is on deck for the Jags. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Hedrick. In there for strike 1. Nothing fancy about that one. Just put it right down the middle of the highway, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Hedrick. One and 1 the count. Leadoff hitter, bottom 7. Next pitch is high. Hedrick took it. It's across the plate, but near the shoulders for 2-1. Kreitzer turns around, gets a clarification from the home plate umpire. That conversation is completed. Bit of a change in the strike zone this year in high school softball. 2-1, swing and a miss. Hedrick couldn't catch up to Hall's fastball there, and it's 2-2. And as the sun goes behind the trees behind us, temperature quickly falling. And I'm glad I have my jacket. 2-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Strikeout 11 for Hannah Hall, and there's 1 out in the 7th inning. And here comes the pitch hitter. It'll be Maddie Crabtree batting for the third baseman, Brittany Street. So Maddie Crabtree to the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Haley, the center fielder, and the number 9 hitter is on deck. Hall checks the signs, checks the forearm, and here comes the first pitch. High for ball 1. Time called. Coach is going to come out and have a discussion with Hull and the infield. Cavaliers with a win tonight would move to 7-1. Jaguars in danger of moving to 4-3 on the season. And again, we talked about how Clover Hill, next game is Monday afternoon against Thomas Dale. Softball, their next game, they've got rival J.R. Tucker here at Glen Allen coming in on Tuesday evening. So the Jags at home for a Conference 11 matchup Tuesday night against the rival Tigers. 1-0 pitch. Strike one. Outside corner at the knees. And the pinch hitter Crabtree even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. Jags down 2. Next pitch also in there for strike 2. 1-2 now. Crabtree comes back into the box. 1-2 pitch coming from Hall. Got her. K number 12. 2 out. And it's up now to the center fielder, Ashley Haley, to keep things alive for the Jaguars.
Ashley Haley.
If Ashley gets aboard, top of the order, Maddie Stone due up. So the tying run is in the on-deck circle. But the Cavs are just 1 out away from win number 7. First pitch. Outside corner for strike 1. Haley down to the count 0-1. 0-1 pitch goes for the rise ball. It was easily ball 1, but she swings and misses, and the Jags are down to their last strike. Hall, 0-2 pitch now. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. 13 strikeouts tonight by our count for Hannah Hall, who scores 2 of the 3 runs for the Cavaliers. And Clover Hill gets the win tonight. Big night for Hannah Hall. Final score, number 5, Clover Hill 3. Number 6, Glen Allen 1. What a night for Hannah Hall. And the Cavs get Thomas Dale on Monday with a record of 7-1. Jaguars fall to 4-3 on the season, but their losses have been to the number 1, the number 2, and the number 5 teams in our RVA Sports Network top 10 poll. So no shame there. And Glen Allen will host rival J.R. Tucker on Tuesday night. So once again, your final score tonight, number 5 Clover Hill gets the 3-1 victory over number 6 Glen Allen on a beautiful evening for softball as softball ball week continues here on the RVA Sports Network. It concludes tomorrow night with a big one. We'll be live in Mechanicsville. Number 7, Patrick Henry. Man, what a feisty young team the Patriots are this year with the freshman sensation Charlotte Mitchell. The Mitchell dynasty continues for Patrick Henry. Emma, back in the early part of the decade. Paige Mitchell, the last 4 years, now at JMU. And now the freshman Charlotte in the circle. PH has only lost once, and that was an extra innings a week ago to Hanover. They come in to take on Kylie Stonebreaker and the unbeaten number 1 Lee Davis Confederates. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow night here live on the RVA Sports Network. That is our last softball week broadcast this week. Number 7, Patrick Henry, and number 1, Lee Davis. That is tomorrow night at 7. And then we return to baseball action here on the network coming up next week, a week from Friday night, April 22nd. Join us then when Lee Davis goes to top-ranked Hanover. In top 10 baseball action, we'll have the top-ranked Hawks here on the network live, and that'll start next Friday night, April the 22nd. Game scheduled, I believe, at 7 p.m. Consult our broadcast schedule at rvasportsnetwork.com. On the right-hand side of the page, and you'll see all of our live high school sports broadcast schedule there. Our thanks to Mr. Robinson and everyone here at Glen Allen High School for their hospitality and for allowing us to come in and broadcast this game this evening. Glen Allen always gracious to us, and for that we are very, very thankful. Tonight's broadcast of Top 10 Softball, Clover Hill at Glen Allen on the RVA Sports Network, has been an exclusive presentation of RVASN, solely intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, other use of tonight's broadcast without the express written consent of HCS Media, LLC, is strictly prohibited. Rob Whipham saying, well, we'll talk to you again in a little less than 24 hours as our special week of softball broadcasts conclude. Number 7, Patrick Henry at number 1, Lee Davis. Tomorrow night, we hit the air just before 7 o'clock. On our YouTube channel. Subscribe today at youtube.com/RVA Sports Network and never miss another live RVA Sports Network high school broadcast. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from Mechanicsville.